Now we're going to move to our header section. So we're going to be placing our title inside a Jumbotron. So we're going to create a div of class Jumbotron. Okay, and inside the div, we are going to place a container, okay, or container fluid. I'm going to go for a container, which is a div of class container. Okay, and then we're going to place a header inside. Okay, and we'll just copy this text. Let's refresh our live preview. Okay, now we can see our Jumbotron there. Okay, it's got a gray background by default. Okay, we're going to need to change that. So let's go to the CSS file. Let's go to the Jumbotron section. So we're going to access the Jumbotron using the Jumbotron class. And we'll change the background color to transparent. Okay. Now it looks better. Now we need to change the text color. Okay. To white. Okay. And also we're gonna center our text using the text align property that we set to center. All right. Now we're going to look at the margin property. So by default, the Jumbotron class has got some margin top and bottom. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that by setting margin to 0. And also the Jumbotron class comes with some default padding. So if we set the padding to 0, now you can see that our Jumbotron is taking less space. Let's add a little bit more padding there, 10 pixels. And that looks fine. Now we're going to add some spacing between the letters. Okay. So to do that, we're going to use the letter spacing property. And let's go for 2.5 pixels. Okay, and that looks good. Okay, now we are ready to move to the icons section. Okay, so we're going to be creating these pictures with some text, a header and paragraph for each picture. So we'll use the Bootstrap grid system to allocate proper space for each component. Okay, so let's go to our index.html file. And let's go to the icon section. So to use the Bootstrap grid system, we're going to use the row class, which goes inside a container. But a good practice is to place everything inside another div that we're going to use for styling. So we will create a div and we'll give it a class icons. Okay, you can give it an ID rather than a class, since we have only one item or element that we refer to using icons. Okay, so inside this div, we're going to create another div for our container. So class container. So we're going to go for container rather than container fluid. Okay, so we're not going for the full width. And then we're going to place our row in there. Okay, div of class row. Okay. So for medium and large devices, we want to split the screen or the row into 3 sections. Okay, so we're going to use a class for each of these components, which is going to be column medium 4. Okay, so 4 columns out of 12 columns. So let's start with the first component. So we're going to need to give it a class column medium 4. Okay, so we're using 4 columns out of 12. And then inside these components, we're going to have a picture. Okay, we're going to give it a source. Okay, and also we're going to use a class for all these pictures. So we're going to style them using the same styling, and let's give them a class called body image. Okay, we'll take care of the source in a bit. So then we're going to have a header. Let's go for H2. That's the header. And we're going to have a paragraph after that. That's the paragraph. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the other components. Okay, so let's place text in there. So the first one, the header is price it. Let's copy the paragraph. And then the second one, planet. Let's copy the paragraph. And the last one is make it, and let's copy the paragraph. Okay, now to get these pictures, we're going to use our logomaker.com website. Okay. So for the first item, we're going to look for money. Okay, and we're going to go for this one. So let's use this green color. Okay, and paste it there. Enter. Okay, it looks fine. Let's save it. Okay, again, make sure you copy the credits using this button and place them somewhere on your website or on another page with a link to it. Okay, so now let's look for the second picture. Let's refresh the whole page. Let's look for planning. I'm going to go for this one. Okay, again, I'm going to go for this green color and click on save. Okay, again, make sure you copy the credits. And the final image, okay, let's refresh the whole page. Let's look for finish, and I'm going to go for this one. Got the right color, and let's save. Again, make sure you copy the credits. Okay. Now let's get our pictures from the desktop. Let's change first the name, okay, of each one. So we're going to go for money. finish, and plan. Now let's place them inside our images folder. And let's fill the source attribute. So the first one is going to be images /money.png, and the second one is going to be images /plan.png, and the last one is going to be images finish.png. Okay, now if we look at our website, we can see our pictures there and our text. So now we need to style these. So I'm going to go to the CSS file. So first of all, let's start with the pictures. Okay, so we're going to be using the image or body image class to style them. And we're going to give them each a height of 100 pixels. Okay. Then we would need to center text inside the columns. So we're going to access the columns using the column medium 4 class. Okay. And we'll use the text align property that we will set to center. And also we'll change the color inside these columns to a white color. Okay. And finally, let's change the font size of the paragraphs. So you can access the paragraphs from the icons class. Okay. And we'll set the font size to 15 pixels. Okay. Now if we look at the final website, we'll see that the width of the icons section is smaller than the width of our screen. So to do this, we are going to access the container class, okay, and reduce its width by giving it a max width of 1000 pixels. So we'll access the class container and we'll use the max width property. I will set that to 1000 pixels. Okay, and now it looks better.